Hello stream, hello everyone watching. This is SLE Plains Split 3, and today we're gonna have our last game of round 1. For pre-game analysis, it's me, your shitpost article creator, Savage Mikus, and joining with me another fellow botliner in Brady.
Yeah, we got all the knowledge on the AD carry matchups hopefully today. But yeah, dude, I'm super hyped for just the super strong games. It's looking like we have two pretty formidable teams. I think a couple of them are new to the SLE, but the organizations themselves are definitely not, as we have seen both SG and CCG both put teams into this league in the past. But yeah, what are you thinking? Have you had a look at either of these two teams in much depth?
A lot of looks I have prepared for this. This is actually the most exciting matchup of this first round, I believe. I was really looking forward to redemption against Runtime as well, but maybe we will talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, as you mentioned, two returning organizations to SLE in SG Intelligence. Well, Intelligence is the team name, and CCG. SG was a participant in SLE Split 1, where they went all the way to finals, while CCG has sent a different team to every single split of SLE. And this might be the year they have sent the two of the strongest teams, and Theta Dracon is definitely potential contenders. They have made themselves a goal to finish top 3 in this season, in this split. Meanwhile, high expectations for SGI as well, as they are aiming for that top 2 spot.
Damn! So overall, some big aspirations for both of these teams. I've just had a quick look at the OPGGs, and again, I know the man very well. I'm going to be super excited to see if Sam Vell does play. Obviously, he is a big part of SG as a manager, I think owner as well. So super pumped to see him play. But are there any players you're looking at here and you're thinking, yes, this guy stands out. This guy, I want to see him on the Draven. I want to see him on like the Mad Life hooks. This guy's Kennen is like Nuggery's Kennen. Are there any I like to call them sparks, like big kind of carry, kind of all or nothing type of players and champions you're seeing?
So originally, since both of us are ADC enthusiasts, I was about to take a closer look to this botline matchup between Kami and Caliber, because Caliber is quite a known name in SLE. Played in every single split so far in the CCG teams, and Kami is jumping in as a big star, winning the Phoenix League Platinum division for with SG Intelligence. But unfortunately, due to some last-minute circumstances, Kami won't be joining SGI's squad today, and they will have to play without their star player. So,
that's always that's not what you want to hear, basically. But
yeah, we have had unfortunate moments in SLE, as in very important games, the star players have been falling out of the rosters. I remember last splits finals where Evolution's AD carry Ori also could not make to their first 2 games. So yeah, since it's gonna be a sub against a well-established name for Caliber, I expect Caliber to have a strong game. To attempt to carry. I was about to say that he needs to neutralize Kami, but since he's not playing against Kami, he has all
he's already done it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, Kami's not going to be a problem this game. That's my prediction for sure. Do we know who is going to be filling in for Kami, or is that a discussion for Champ Select and for the pre-game lobby kind of situation?
I don't know just yet. Sure. I'm quite sure once we see the teams playing, we will look into it more, maybe with the casters. But since AD carry matchup is not going to be the one I'm looking for, It's gonna be the top lane matchup where both of the Diamond solo queue rated players in this team lie. In Jomi from Theta Draconis and Telto from SGI. Jomi, more of a tank player, more of a meta player with picks like Ornn, Sejuani.
And tasteful champions. I love those champs.
Yeah, I love those champs as well as AD carry. Just don't pay any attention to top lane, gank my lane. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Telto and SGI, he enjoys more of a carry style, but also I would say kind of from weak side champions in Kayle and Gangplank. Maybe my AD carry's lack of knowledge about everything else in my items comes into play, and they're actually not weak side champions. But yeah, both of these players also big Gwen enjoyers. But as I heard before, Gwen has been gutted in this patch, in the recent patch. And maybe it's going to be more of a bait pick. Quite often these teams coming with long weeks of preparation, not ready to adapt to recent patches.
Yeah, I mean, again, I do see the Ornn, I do see the Seju, but I don't know, with the unfortunate departure of Cammy for today's game, do you expect to see both junglers trying to play for what are essentially their star players, their on paper highest ranked players, best players? Because we have been seeing Jomi in the past couple of days, looking at the Sylas, the Akshan, the Pantheon, Fiora even, so a couple of kind of dangerous picks. Definitely, I think Sylas, Pantheon, and Fiora stand out as particularly cringe. And definitely something a jungler can play towards.
Yeah.
Especially when we have seen, I think jungle is cringe is the jungler for, where is it? It is, yes. He is in fact the Draconis jungler, so we are seeing him take up picks like the Lee Sin. I think Hecarim as well is another one of his picks that is pretty good at ganking. And I mean, any jungler like worth his weight in salt in the SLE knows how to play Volibear. So level 3, if he does pick out a Volibear, I definitely think that we can expect to see teams playing towards the top side of this map. But yeah, it's going to be super interesting. Do you have any insight or guesses perhaps as to who might take the edge in this game, or is it pretty much everything's on the table, all to play for here today?
So, as some of our spectators, some of our watchers and SLE enjoyers might have noticed, I'm posting and creating some articles about the league, and also I have created these power rankings going in the split, where I subjectively evaluated every team's potential strengths. I took in consideration their solo queue, account levels, my knowledge about the players, the things that they told me about how experienced are their teams. And so far, the higher ranked team in the power rankings have won 5 out of 6 games.
So you're a man who's you've done some good homework on all the teams, and so far you're looking like you're the man with the knowledge on who seems to be ready to edge out this tournament in early stages, in these very, very early on games.
You could say so. If only my friend Shiki Orin would not have lost the game against Primordials. This would have been 100% accurate. But based on the power rankings, I have rated SG Intelligence as the 3rd best team going into the split 3 planes. Meanwhile, CCG Theta Draconis is ranked 10. I will align with my list and predict CG Intelligence to take it. But that being said, the fact that Cammy is not playing for Intelligence is a big problem. It could be a big problem because most of these teams, no matter how they, what's the situation in the game day, they prepare their one core identity. And as much as I know, SGI is a bot-centric team. Cammy is the carry. and without him, the team might be lost. But maybe they will find the carry power in some other roles of the game. I actually wanted to ask you, Brady. You are quite an experienced player yourself, both in solo queue and competitively.
Yeah.
If your team is forced to put in a sub, right?
Yeah.
How do you approach the game? Do you try to make the game as comfortable as you can for your sub, or do you force him to play to fill the role that you're missing?
Well, God, that's a good question. And actually, one, it depends on how flexible your substitute is, right? If my substitute is a Renekton OTP, the team's gonna have to bend and flex a little bit around that, and it's kind of, look, this is like a Platinum League now. I think we're kind of at a stage where everyone I'd like to think, should know what different champions want to do and how good they are at specific things. So I think if your sub is a little bit more rigid in what he can play, I think it's quite important that you as a team adapt to that. However, in an ideal world, I think having the comfort of 4 players at the cost of perhaps sacrificing your top lane and putting him on Ornn duty or Gragas duty, so that your team can functionally operate in a similar manner, is perhaps the better strategy to go. That being said,
Cammy will play.
Oh, hang on a minute. Well, Cammy will play. Wow.
Let the celebration start.
Okay.
Support is gonna be a substitute. Still a big hit for Intelligence SG as their support player. I think is.
Let me double check. Obsession is going to be subbed out.
Why did I want to call him Swag? Wait, what's his Discord name? Swag. Swagception. Yes.
Swagception. Well, that's a good name. Now, okay, so Cammy's back. Obviously, there is no such thing with a good ADC without a good support. Again, I hope this doesn't affect what SG Intelligence do want to do. Again, I think as you have correctly stated, that Cammy, the player to watch, it's important that he's there. The team identity is a little bit more whole when he is. And hopefully, again, I don't know how big a difference that makes in your opinion. Obviously, you probably have the best views on all of the teams. Big difference? You think that's a game changer?
I'd say the fact that Cammy is playing lets SGI play with the same identity, and I think it's absolutely massive. Obsession is a big part of the team, but I would say it's easier to fill the support role in this particular team. It might not be in other teams, but in this particular team, absolutely. But with Caliber against Cammy, that activates our original matchup of the game. And both actually, I wanted to ask you, Brady, how important is Jinx right now? Because currently in SLE she holds the highest pick rate and ban rate, and she has only gone through the draft in one of the 5 games currently. And we've seen also in other leagues like LAC, Jinx having big presence right now.
Personally, this is gonna sound a bit sus, a bit of a hot take. I think there are champions in the game that do Jinx's job a little bit better than Jinx. I think Twitch is a good example of that. However, I think the skill required to play Jinx is it's much simpler to play Jinx than it is to play Draven, for example. I think Draven is an absolute menace at the moment. This champion needs nerfs. But I think the range Jinx has, the damage Jinx has, the intuitiveness to her kit makes her extremely potent at a platinum level. And I'm not trying to say everyone's bad. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to say. But you know what I mean, right? Like, if I had, I don't know, Gumayushi, and he was like, I don't know, his options were Jinx or Draven, I'm picking him Draven 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But as you mentioned before, in not I wouldn't say low, like not the absolute peak.
Are you trying to say that everyone in this league is bad? Are you trying to flame us? Well,
I actually think that this league is pretty good, and this first round has impressed me a lot. I hear we are ready for swap.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
In the last minute, let's run down the plan of the night. So, as we're wrapping up the pre-game analysis, we're gonna jump in the game where Intelligence SG is gonna face CCG Theta Draconis, and after that, we will do the post-game analysis. I will have a little announcement of the team, the symbolic team, the best 5 players of our round 1, and the stream is gonna end with the second round draw.
Oh, we're doing the second round draws here too?
Yes, and we're gonna also have a little chat about the matchups draw. Who do you want to face in round 2, Brady?
I haven't been super keeping up personally. I would like to, with a bit of luck, play against, where is it? Lost Time. We've scrimmed against them. We beat Lost Time. In scrims. I would very much appreciate the opportunity to give them a rematch, to give them another opportunity to, punch back. Yeah. Are there any matchups coming into the next round that you would like to see?
Well, depending on this match, I would want to see either this team, not this team, either SG Intelligence or Black Manta facing Reef. That will tell me a lot about what I would rate as the upper tier of this SLE so far, because both of those teams have looked very strong. Other than that, Runtime has a very small chance of drawing a Lost Time, because one of the teams that won their round 1 will face a team that lost their round 1, and I'm still looking forward for this rival squads, as they have had their fair share of trash talk between each other.
True.
Alright, as predictions about who's gonna take this game out alive, make sure to vote in Twitch chat.
Twitch chat, where you at? Coming out strong?
Yeah, that being said, we're going to casters.
True, and welcome back. Throwing it over to Brillman and Chirengo.
Hello.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the LOL SLE. Is it still named Supreme League Europe? I'm an old grandpa, I don't know.
For reasons, the word league will not be used, else Riot comes down on us, but yeah. So it's just SLE now, but it's good to have you back, right? Brillman, our beloved caster from back in the league days. How are you doing?
I am doing very good, and I am really looking forward to see the match that we're going to have to do, thanks to our beautiful analyst desk, Mikas and Brady. So I'm really interested to see how things are gonna go down. Presumably we're gonna jump into the drafts real quick, right?
Yeah, I'm like... Sorry? Lobby ended. Okay, well, since we have some technical difficulties, and I'm gonna fix that real quick for us. What's your predictions, Brill? How do you feel about these games? Or this game coming up?
I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. You know, when you come back and watch what things happened in SLE, the only thing I've learned, pretty much, right, that you can never really predict anything in SLE. Things just going down really quickly, and you never know how the thing's going to end up. I'm very excited to see the performance of Intelligence, since Cammy is going to be playing Therefore, I'm really interested to see this superstar AD carry because it's always exciting to watch, right? It's always exciting to watch the AD carry superstar and how is he going to perform. I mean, we've all seen Reckless. We've just seen upsets in the last days of LEC just now. Uzi in VCS in Vietnamese Championship, right? There's just so many different. Now, how to avoid the word that I want to use. Regions. Let's put it this way. So many regions across the board that have amazing superstar ADCs.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you watched, what was it, yesterday against Fnatic with upset, just turning the game upside down with the Zeri pick, for example. There are some ADCs that can just 1v9 the game at the moment, right? Now, maybe 2v8 with the support next to it. Hilly doing a good job on the Lulu as well there. But yeah, bot lane definitely a volatile meta at the moment. A lot of power went down there. Top lane kind of lacking behind. The poor people there are still like passing heads together. But yeah, the big name Cammy could make it in the end. So we should be going to draft real soon. Do you have any champions you're expecting to be like out of the window instantly? We saw that both players picked Gwen, but Gwen has been hit by nerfs. You still think it has some form of potency?
Hard to say, hard to judge, really. I think that the contemporary meta really allows different teams to differently approach the game, but there are definitely some power picks in the current pro meta. Let's put it this way, right? Yeah. But minding you that most of the professional teams are still playing on the patch 12.13, right? 12.13, yeah. 12.14. So I believe some of the people already started to play at 12.14, but I'm not really sure about that one. But disregarding that, it's really hard for me to say like what is going to be the one played right now because we are 2 patches ahead, mainly from Ultra League where I work, right? Yeah. So. But I would be very, very surprised to not see Ornn all around the place, especially with the fact that Talia is now slightly more nerfed, especially with the fact that Ornn is pretty much one of the most reliable engagers in the entire game at the moment. So I would be interested to see if the teams are going to try to fight for it as the power pick, or if maybe some of the junglers are going to receive the same amount of attention, or the mid lane as another thing. And we've got even the info that Ornn has 50% game presence. Therefore, you can see where the power pick lies.
Yeah, and definitely, if we're looking at the players, SCI intelligence, having an Ornn enjoyer, a chatting Ornn player, 64% win rate on Ornn in solo queue. That's a good number. That's a solid number. So maybe they will just put Yomi on that Ornn and have that late game guarantee you get with it, because how much is it? It's like 800 gold the Ornn items give, right, per item, something like
approximately
that.
Yeah, approximately something like that. I mean, fairly speaking, there's quite a variety of different very important picks that you can try to secure for yourself, right? There's Ornn, there's also Trundle, there's also Poppy, there's Wukong, there's Azir, there's Corki, there's Silas. There's a lot of different things that can be used to somewhat make your pick work better than the other. But and to be fair, I'm very interested to see what would be your insta pick in the current meta. What would be the thing that you would just look at and go, "Yep, I'm taking that. Just I'm on the blue side. I don't care. I'm taking this."
Yeah, well, one is Ornn. I don't think it's B1, but yeah, Ornn is definitely a strong pick. I think for the reliability of flexing it, Shyvana. I think Shyvana, especially now that Talia is nerfed as well, so you don't kill yourself over the entire E field when you jump in. Okay, all right. I mean, if we can get that up on the screen for the rest of the team, or for the viewers to watch as well, and at the moment we're not. Okay, so can we get this up for our viewers? Okay, so sadly we don't have nice GFX
graphics
going on,
today, yeah.
So let's run down this quick. Gwen banned, Kill banned, Nami banned, 2 weak sider champions banned, picked with a Mordekaiser instead.
Shyvana out of the way as well.
Yeah, Darwin as well. So and that is understandable with the Sivir lock-in for CCG. Sivir, one of the good weak side champions, right? In bot lane at the moment, scales really well. Goes into like this hyper carry team fight machine on like 2 to 3 items. But yeah, Jarvan definitely able to lock that down with the Cataclysm. On the other side, interesting picks. The Sejuani top, something we saw being spoken about beforehand.
It's quite popular in the current meta, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, so
okay.
Quick order. We see that Draven, like it's Sivir into Draven, or like Draven. Into
the other way
Sivir.
around, yeah.
Yeah. Brady just talked about it a bit beforehand. Thinks the champ is giga busted and needs nerfs pretty much, especially because what we see in pro play right now, right, is the mentally sane Draven. It's not your unstable solo queue Draven that flips it at level 2 and either goes AFK or double kills. It's the we farm up, we execute with the ulti, and we cash in big kind of thing. Draven playstyle. We see this combined with Knowledge kind of makes it's still more aggressive. Olaf on the other side.
The good pickup, I more like the pickup of Renata, to be fair, because that is a very good pick into Nautilus, since it's going to allow to sort of stop the engages rather nicely. Disengage ulti is pretty much one of the best disengage ultimates in the entire game, the hostile takeover, right?
Yeah.
And in the same time, it's one of the best ultimates just in general, not only for engage, but in disengage, but also the engage, right? There's variety of ways that you can try to use it. Although, I have to be fair with you, I am slightly concerned with the pickup of both Olaf and Mordekaiser, because it feels like CCG are lacking control a little bit in the more standard sense of it, because the other team seems to like have much more ways of locking your opponent down. You've got Sejuani, you've got Lissandra, you've got Nautilus, and even you've got the knockup from Xin. While CCG, they don't really have a lot of ways to make sure that the team fight goes their way.
I mean, what I feel like CCG is not planning to team fight here. I feel like CCG's team is more of a split the map here. Use Talia in the middle, like move from whatever side is to collapse on whoever gets caught in the side lanes, right? So we have Mordekaiser pushing on his own on the side. We have maybe Olaf even pushing on the side, and then Talia Sivir sitting mid, or Talia on the side lanes, and using the Talia ulti for rotations quick around the map and making picks. Because, like you said, I think if they're gonna bring it out to an all-out team fight, CCG is pulling the short straw. Even though they have Sivir and Talia, low amount of lockdown. So unless they're like fat, they I don't think they can do much against the intelligence squad that just locks them down.
I mean, it feels really, really hard to play around this, right? Because just with the opportunities that Draconis do have on their hands, it's just really, really, running you over in a certain manner of it. Because yes, maybe you don't have that much of control, but what you do have is an excessive amount of damage. On the other hand, right? So you've got Sivir that deals tons of damage. You've got Olaf that deals tons of damage. Right, you've got Mordekaiser that in the right hands and with right circumstances can pretty much deal tons of damage as well. And then you also have Talia that can pretty much be somewhat of a second carry, I would even say. In depends on situations, of course, but if that Talia gets a proper amount of money for her to cash in and start to work their way around it, it feels like she can be pretty much of a powerhouse. The only thing is that concerns me for the side of SGI is, how do you actually approach the team fight in this manner of it? You've got tons of control, right? But what do you do with that control? Who do you throw that control against? Because there's just too many people that can try to kill you.
Yeah, for sure, and especially with the Renata, right? Renata Olaf is a really scary combo. If the Olaf gets ahead and that Renata powers him up, it doesn't matter how much you throw on him. He will just run straight through it. Be unkillable as well, as long as he gets the takedown and just takes over your team. It's definitely going to be interesting early game. I feel like the team that gets ahead here can do a lot with their draft. So.
Definitely so. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you on the Summoner's Rift for the teams now ready to slam each other, probably very hard. Intelligence SG versus Curtain Call Gaming Theta Draconis.
We immediately see a 5-stack coming in. I think we're going to see blood straight off the bat.
Kieran is going to be in a lot of trouble. Handshake is going to get out. Look at these HP already out. That's the first blood.
That's an error 4-4. HP bar not found. Kieran just got completely annihilated.
I can't believe what I just saw there. Have you seen the amount of damage they were able to do already?
I think we're not going to be streaming on Twitch anymore. I think we're going to some PG-18 website soon after that one. That was a bit painful to watch. And what's the kill distribution over here? It got Jungle is Crunch now running around with the first blood, already resetted too. So can you imagine the speed that he will be able to clear his jungle and then go potentially on some ganks? Yeah, definitely. Olaf already pretty fast on the clear, and now with an extra long sword, he will be outspeeding this Xin Zhao for sure, which will have a bigger impact on that. On the pathing, because they're both pathing bot side, right? So in theory, Olaf will be on the bot lane earlier for a gank if they are both looking to bot lane gank. Also, depending if they're gonna do the really popular like free camp gank now, the red into Raptors into the Grump, giving you like the fastest possible way to get to the bot side. We see Xin Zhao going from red to blue, so he's going to blue Grump, then probably look for a gank. Meanwhile, Olaf might look for the free camp or go for a full clear. It seems like he's going for a full clear.
To be fair, as Kieran, what do you really have? What you can really do on the map? The only thing you can do right now, if you're going to bot side, is to potentially commit into a bot lane tower dive, right? Since you have Draymond on your team, that means you're going to be constantly pushing in, and it makes jungler's cringe duty and work just a tiny bit easier from a certain point of it, right? Because the enemy team is just constantly going to be trying to push in. So therefore, you have much more opportunities to try to go for that gang outside of Kieran, who can only try to fish for this very early tower dive that will potentially kill you, or you need to try and hover shadow and try to look for jungler's cringe there.
Yeah, for sure. Like looking for an invade now is really hard as well with the Olaf having that extra long sword and damage. As we can see, the Sunfall was moving down a bit, but Kieran is still waiting here. But Olaf is gonna be level 4 on this gank, on this counter gank.
Oop, now on to the bot lane, and Renata Handshake is going to connect. She's burning from Ignite, but she's going to be absolutely fine thanks to the flash now burnt. Django's Crunch is going to come down there just for a little bit of a second, but nothing is about to happen for the time being. Oh, maybe Kieran gonna flash away. Flash forward from Droid. He's gonna stun him, and he's gonna lock in as well. Caliber will take the kill.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really rough one for Kieran. Especially post 6, where Olaf doesn't really care about Xin Zhao anymore. You can't really get him off. You can't CC him anymore. He will just run you down. Kieran needs to try to be playing on the other side of Olaf. If he keeps mirroring now, he's going to be in a rough spot and not really be able to do stuff if Olaf reacts in time.
Ooh. On to Samuel now, just to scare him away. And by the looks of it, I feel like CCG are already taking a bit of control over the map. Draconis feeling really, really comfortable, and with pretty much everything that they've got, to be fair. Now, since the timers should be coming closer now to the Herald. We should be about, what, 4 minutes into the game, if I recall correctly, 4 or 5?
Yeah, we are 4.5 minutes into the game. With Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, we see Kieran pathing down bot again after his forced resets. let's call it like that. And jungle screens. Olaf hasn't reset it yet, so he will be late on that tempo for this dragon. Karen has his bot lane pushed in, but it seems like they're resetting here and not opting for an early Drake. Meanwhile, at the top side, have you seen the HP bars go up and down there a bit? It's definitely they've been fighting there on top side. Sejuani, for some reason, deals way too much damage as a tank, as we have seen in LEC, LCK, and everything, being a pretty good top pick into Mordekaiser. But this matchup won't be the same until the end, right? Mordekaiser will get the better in this matchup at one point.
At one point, pretty much definitely, but it's really a question how the teams are going to execute it, because from a certain point, which happened a really, really long time ago, we do know that Mordekaiser's ultimate is really, the Death Realm is really easily countered. So it feels like Kami shouldn't be really feeling like he is in any sort of a danger, since with the help of QSS, he should be able to get out of it really quickly, right? So it's interesting to me how Mordekaiser is going to be utilized in those team fights that are about to come.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think they will try to keep Mordekaiser on the side to keep that pressure going. But yeah, they're in a good spot now, right? Olaf is strong. Sivir picked up a good a kill. So if you're on the side of CCG, you're kind of chilling now. You're right. Okay, guys, let's look for a couple picks here and there. Look for some objective plays, and I think we're gonna get one of those picks going on. But from CCG.
Oh, the hook is going to connect. Here comes the Weaver's Wall as well. But Olaf's doing really incredibly low now. Double flashes have been burned. Kami is going to cash it in. The next one is going there too. Droid is going to be killed. Lissandra takes the kill. And now Caliber has to flash away from the rest of the team because he knows otherwise he's... Oh, that hook connected! And it's illegal that he did. He shouldn't do that. Caliber now retreats underneath his tower because there's just so many kills picked up by CGI.
Yeah, definitely a really good comeback there for CGI. Picking up those kills is crucial. Cash out for Draven, of course, really big as well. I think that's like, what is it, 200 extra gold on that? Something like that. I am not a Draven enthusiast, so I don't know the math behind the stacks. But as we can see, it's 700 gold up on the Sivir, which is it going to be the Draven show now? The League of Draven.
It's going to be very hard now for Draconis to actually do anything against the lane. They were just a few minutes ago winning really heavily, and now it feels like they're forced to find a new solution. So Shinjar got a kill. Samuel also managed to pick up a kill as well, and Kami now running around with 102 with the cash in 2. So it feels like maybe it's time for Draconis to maybe think about a rotation towards an early Herald and try to secure that. In the meantime, to lead to who's going to engage into that Olaf. Kami is now walking in as well. They're reading my mind, but they're the ones actually executing it. The stun is going to connect because Ragnarok now went off, and Droid and Wiggy are here to try and make sure that nothing happens. Handshake, a really good one to make sure that no chase is going to happen.
Yeah, really good handshake from Renata there. Wiggy's coming in clutch. Really good stun from the Sejuani as well, waiting out the perfect timing there for the Olaf ulti to run out, not wasting her ability on it. And this transitions into an early Herald for SGI. Pretty
much of a standard play that we see here from any pro players. You try to rotate your bot lane towards that Herald as soon as it spawns in to get the numbers advantage and potentially let your AD carry farm there a little bit too. But
Caliber picking up a plate and a wave extra on the Draven. So now I think this gold lead isn't that big anymore.
Should be absolutely. The XP lead is also not exactly that as it was before.
That, we can see that Sivir did outpace the Draven with like 3/4 of a level. So that's a pretty big difference. Like that lead from Draven just got nullified for this Herald. So they need to make this Herald work good, right? You gave up your pressure of your Draven lane that was ahead into a more even stage, so now SCI needs to look for a plate with the Herald, and I think it would be opening up mid, right? You want to try get this Lissandra all over the map instead of plays with your Xin Zhao.
It feels like it was just a very bad idea to send Draven back to the bot lane all the way there and not have him stick at the top lane just for a little bit longer and make sure that he farms up there a little as well, because now he's back in the lane. He should be somewhat of a decent position in terms of optimization against Caliber, but Caliber now running with a turret plate that puts him in a good spot, running with more CS, and he also has that kill to himself as well. So cash in or not, it feels like now it's more of an even lane than we have seen before. But the only problem is that Slime is already sitting on that depth charge, while Wiggy's is still not working with his hostage takeover.
It seems that they're putting the pressure down, but they're not pulling the trigger yet. Caliber actually body blocking for his support here, knowing that he has the spell shield and the confidence to spell shield this hook when needed. Pretty ballsy if you ask me.
Ooh, Samuel immediately gets out of the way thanks to the frozen path. But now he actually might be collapsed upon as Jungler's Cringe is going to run into two enemies. He's going to go into Ragnarok almost instantly, trying to force down Kirin. He's not going to do it in time as Talito will pick up that kill.
Yeah, good rotation from Talito. Coming down, has the wave state to do it. Will only miss a few minions because of this. And they pick up another kill. And with that,
Ooh. In the meantime, onto Droid. He's really low. Kirin trying to kill him. The Ignite is taking, but the Q will get him. Kirin is going to die.
He wants to keep the game even as possible.
In the meantime, Vegas takes a lot of damage. He's the bailout, but Slime really presses that in time and gets himself in. Golden doesn't even get killed because of the sheer brilliantly played by the bot lane of SGI.
Yeah. Yeah. So, definitely a great play with the stopwatch there from Slime. Using it to its full potential with the dive, resetting the aggro. Takes the perfect timing on the W, coming back up there to survive the boomerang. And with that, the Raven show might be back on the road.
A very interesting situation now. Pretty much doesn't really feel like any of the teams has that oppressive lead over the other one. At the
moment, the gold is 18 for CCG to 19.7 for SDI. So it's a small lead for SDI here with this small kill lead they have.
That is perfectly reasonable. In the meantime, the Mountain Drake is going to come up in just a few seconds. By the looks of it, SGI do have that intention in trying and take it for themselves. They have the Prior in the mid. Now they're going to have it thanks to the Herald. Prior in the bot lane is all theirs as well. And we can see that Kirin and Slimy are already rotating towards it.
Yeah, so using this Herald for a Dragon, it is an option for it, especially if it's running out. I feel like they could have done more with this Herald. It's not even getting a charge off, which the pre-14 Herald is so big. You get at least 2 platings out of it, right? Most of the time 3 if you get one of the platings down to half health. But they choose to take it for a dragon. They are on 2 dragons now. SCI. They will be looking for a soul point in 10 minutes, so around 23-25 minutes, if they can get the second dragon. And if we can see, okay, it's the Ocean.
Caliber is going to be in a very big trouble. He's going to be knocked up in the air thanks to the depth charge. Slime again survives a very, very edge of a knife here. Play flashes away from the turret. Cammy takes the kill.
Yeah, Slime not playing like the normal Nautilus does, right? Normal Nautilus, so most of the time they go in and they take 3 people down and then die themselves. This Slime getting away with murder every time. They're playing really well, knowing the limits of his champion and providing a turning point for SCI on bot lane here, getting them further and further ahead.
Unleash Teleports has been unlocked as well, and it seems like we're entering a new state of the game. 2 champion bounties already on the hands for Samuel and Cammy. Cammy should be in such of a good place right now with 2 items absolutely completed for him, Essence Reaver and the Eclipse. So running into that Draven is going to be just a tiny tad deadly.
Yeah, this is like, at this point in the game where no one else has bought armor yet into this Draven, he's gonna like 3-4 autoing squishies in. I think Renata will die in 3 autos if this Draven gets on her. Having the Essence Reaver and the Eclipse finish, he's on 2 items. He is the man with the gold at the moment, and they don't really have a way to shut him down on the side of SSD, as we talked beforehand, right? Draconics don't have the CC outside of the Draven or the Mordekaiser ulti, but is Mordekaiser able to survive even against the Draven?
That's a good question. I mean, some Mordekaiser is going to get initiated upon. I believe the Death Realm has been used onto Kirin, and the rest of the teams are already here as well. Jungler's Cringe is going to die relatively quickly as Kirin is going to be chased down by that Mordekaiser, but Slimy with the Jet Charge saves his jungler and makes sure that he's not going to die. Kami picks up the kill.
Yeah, definitely good rotation from FCI again, pulling their bot lane to top lane, getting that Herald again.
Slimy,
and
looking for a hook, founds another one. He is just on fire with those illegal hooks in this game. Wiggies, despite the bailout, will fall, and Talito will pick up his 3rd kill of the game.
Yeah, Talito getting in a good spot himself as well. Finishes the Frozen Fist for himself, giving himself a bit more space on this Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser, having finished the Riftmaker, should be able to 1v1 the Seju now, of course, and especially into the Death Realm. So I think we should be seeing a little bit more pressure coming out from the Mordekaiser, from Yomi, trying to push in this the Seju and not letting her roam the map and get these picks.
But right now, it just feels like Slime is making sure that every single advantage that his team has on the map is secured just by his sheer presence. We haven't seen that man to miss a hook yet. He hasn't died yet as well. He has saved his AD carry, he saved his jungler, and he managed to allow his team to pick up 7 kills that he was a part of. So it just feels like Slime right now is the hero of intelligence, and if they continue to press the advantage so hard as they do right now, they should be able to take full control over the map.
Yeah, and as we said, Kami is insanely strong at the moment. The first armor item has been completed from the side of Draconic, and that's Olaf's his plated steel caps, almost called the tabbies. And outside of that, there's still no armor. There's more damage being stacked. I think Draconics do not want to survive the Draven. They want to kill it. They don't care. They're not going to tank the damage. They just want to remove the Draven out of the fight. And we have to see how they're going to approach these fights with Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. I expect Slime to look for these hooks to start off the fight.
Caliber already shooting away, making sure that he pokes the enemy as much as he can. Mordekaiser joining his team, so now we probably should see a 5-on-5 team fight, as Talito might be caught away here just for a little bit. He's going to be caught there in the missed position. He sees the rest of the team as well. But it looks like Intelligence read this play through, and what they decide to do instead is, okay, you want this dragon? Take this dragon. We're going to release the Herald in the mid and try to crack it open first. Weaver's Wall, of course, will prevent them from the second boing to the tower, but it did win a lot for the team, and it also put them in the position of being fully in control of this whole bot side map.
Yeah, SCI just outpaced Draconics really hard here, really well rotated. Wave states were good on both sides. The bot lane was pushed in.
Draconis might be going in. Renata already out of the equation. Jungle Cringe is now stepping forward, trying to go at least. Somebody Kami is going to take him down. Hostile takeover was quite cute. Just Kirin has to flash away, but Kami just shoots and shoots and shoots and kills whoever he sees. Caliber is on the retreat because Sejuani is making sure that he won't walk up any closer, as Droid is already too low. No casualties on this side of Intelligence and 3 on the side of Draconis.
Yeah, definitely was looking scary when the hostile takeover takes over your pet Draven, right? He suddenly starts hitting you instead of the enemies, but the SGI able to survive this really well rotated, as we said before, into like taking 2 towers and then also securing the dragon, and it's starting to look a little bit grim now for Draconics. They need to come up with a 200 IQ play to swing this around, because I don't think a 5v5s are winnable at any point now. With
It feels pretty desperate. It definitely feels pretty desperate because there's just too many things that now spinning out of control on the map. You've got Draven, who already completed his 3 items and sits on a completed boots as well. You've got Leandri's on that Lissandra, and she's working towards another item and has the Dark Seal with 9 stacks on it. And you're supposed to somehow deal with that Sejuani that apparently your AD carry is not capable of killing just yet.
Yeah, Zivers went for the Phantom then 0 second. I think it's fine, but because you are so far behind in comparison to the other team, you're just lacking that armor pen at the moment of the LDR. I hope he opts for the LDR as for an item, because else I don't see who will deal with the Sejuani. Maybe you will rely on your Mordekaiser taking out the Sejuani, but then the fights need to be played different, right? Then your mortar is becoming your pure machine with the ultimate. But as now SCI sieging mid lane here, in full control of CCG's topside jungle as well. They can walk to Baron whenever they want, can play with vision here, and just set up that bushes. As we see Slime sitting there with Sam on the top side of our screen. And who is going to be the first one?
No, and it seems like it's going to be Droid. He's going to be locked up in the frozen tomb and killed almost in an instant. As now, it's pretty much path open for intelligence. They are going to walk up to that Baron and instantly kill it because they have just too much damage on their side already. And it feels like Draconis are not even going to try to do anything about it. Instead, they're going to fish for some bounties all across the map. Maybe crack open the bot lane, maybe crack open the mid lane as well, as the Baron shreds down way too quickly for them to react.
Yeah, definitely a good play here, what they're doing out of Draconic. Make the best out of the worst. You go for these 2 bounty towers, get the waves shoved as well. You know those Baron minions are gonna come, so might as well push the waves as far as possible. Not even try to flip the 4v5, because you're already behind. The chance of winning that one is almost non-existent. But yeah, and now it's gonna be a sieging game by SCI, and Ken Sivir, of course, one of the better champions to have on your side to defend sieges. Now we gotta see if she's able to keep this base alive.
Fairly speaking, there's quite a good amount of wave clear on the side of Draconis. They not only have the Sivir, they also have Talia, who has relatively quick wave clear. Therefore, should be able to withstand a siege at least on one side. But what we see here is actually 1-3-1 executed by intelligence. They tried to push all 3 lanes simultaneously, and it works for them so far. The bot lane wave is now moving and closing in. Top lane wave is going to be doubled now, even.
Yeah, definitely good use of the Baron here. We see Mordekaiser is answering the Sejuani, but at this point, Mordekaiser is down 2 levels on Seji because of needing to rotate constantly to keep his team alive against this threat of this Draven. We see Samfell is slowly starting to push the bot side wave as well, and Draconic don't really have someone to send there, because if they send someone there, they're just gonna get Doven probably on mid lane.
Droid will go there and answer Samwell in the meantime, as we have 3 here in the main lane. Both teams are just matching with the compositions, trying to make sure that they can wave clear, but there's just too much sheer damage on the side of intelligence. They're keeping pushing forward, and Cringe might be just in a bit of trouble there if he doesn't do anything. Droid successfully pushed out the bot lane, as Samwell only now is going to return back to it. And it feels like this Baron was a little bit underwhelming. It should be wearing off relatively soon, but there's not a lot of
40 seconds left. 40 seconds left on the Baron, and break is spawning, but this is soul point, right? So maybe they not break the bases, but they created the pressure and the tempo for this dragon. They are like a tad bit late on it on the spawn, but I think it doesn't matter. And as Draconic, are you gonna give this? Are you gonna give them the soul? And it seems like they don't contest it, then they will have to be fighting into an Ocean Soul, and which is kind of rough for your team, right? Because your team, you're trying to overrun them with damage, but now they get more sustainy because of the Ocean Soul. The Draconic looking a little bit more grim every second, but their base defense was really good. So
Yomi now getting into a fist fight with the lead too. No one there to help either of the top laners, but you can see how much Ocean Soul benefits already Intelligence. They're feeling much more powerful than they needed just a few seconds before. And with that Ocean Soul, you're absolutely correct, Rango. Is going to be very, very hard for Draconis to try and do anything. Bot lane is going to be sieged yet again. Top lane constantly pushed in, shoved in, as mid lane is the place of fighting. It seems like Intelligence are really interested in making sure that this mid lane cracks open and they can wreak havoc on the entire map.
Yeah, it's clearly showing the sides of the drafts, right? Where SCI is having a bit more of a hard time sieging down this this tower because of their champions, especially into Zivir and Talia. The only proper ranged form to like press this tower down is Draven and maybe Lysandra, but that doesn't crack the tower the same speed as Draven would do. But it looks like they're just trying to force them off now. It's now a game. They're trying to commit a game of chicken, trying to out-rotate, get their jungler like move to top because of the pressure of top lane, and then sneak in this kill on the tower. And it seems that they're taking it slow, SGI, but it's still getting rougher for Draconics. I feel like an Elder Flip is maybe the only way to get back in here, or a really good pick.
Oh, might be getting that one. Jomi will retreat just a little bit, has the support of his support. The pun was not intended. And the rest of SGI are here to try and siege that bot. In the meantime, Sambot has to go over the wall because Jungler's Cringe and Droid is now chasing them down. Mid lane constantly sieged as well. And it seems like Draconis are pretty much forced with their backs against the wall. Weaver's Wall is going to be used. Kami and Slime are now out-rotated. Caliber steps forward, tries to fish for a kill now in there. Root comes down. Caliber already low, has to flash away. Two hostile takeover is huge as a mountain as Samuel hops over and gets Talia underneath the turret. And it seems like nothing will save the Draconis. Dracarys, they will be own destiny as it is a clean ace for Intelligence and time to smartly end the game.
Yeah, good looking for Draconic here, trying to divide the SDI with the team, but it looked like they weren't all on the same page on pulling the trigger instantly there, and like the little bit of delay just made it so that they got wallets left, right? Like Sam could join in halfway through the fight, and the Draven just was too big.
With that being said, we congratulate Intelligence on their win. It was dominant, it was pretty much decisive, and it was pretty much crucial to just one more time showcase to us how big of a threat Kami is and how good of a support Slime is as well. And if I just... Yes?
I'm taking it. Our producer is setting up the MVP vote for the chat, right? But asking you, Mr. Brillman, Dr. Brillman.
Thank you.
Who was your MVP? Because there are two big contenders here, right? I mean, Kami and Slime. Both
Slime.
Slime. Yeah, he's the
Slime.
Happened. Yeah, okay. Then we're on the same page.
He is my man. Like, honestly speaking, it is pretty often overlooked. The role of support in those games are pretty often overlooked, I would say. Not really that much depending on what region are you watching, but sometimes it does. And here, I feel like most of the early game just was dictated and paced by that Nautilus, by the way this hook's connected, by the ways he was playing on the knife's edge, and by the way how he made sure that those kills always delivers home.
Yeah, it's definitely really great. But I feel like the entirety of SGI looked really good. It was clear. I mean, we know that they have won Phoenix League, right? They are the champions of Phoenix League, and it shows. This team runs around as a team and does what they have to do. With that, I think. I don't know if you're joining us for the analyst, the post-game analyst test. Brill?
I think I'm not.
Okay, well then I would say goodbye to you. Thank you very much. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here. Do a little shout out, do a little sell out here. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was my entire pleasure to come back to the SLE. I will not pronounce the full name of it, otherwise we're going to get... Anyway, it was my absolute pleasure to come back here after the Split 1 and the finals of Split 2. And if you want, you can join us for the grand finals of Ultraliga this week on Polsat Games 2 if you want to see our casting. But with that being said, thank you very much, Ranga. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much to the analyst desk and to the producers. And I'll bid my goodbyes to you.
And with that, I take it that my co-host Mikas and co-host Brady will come back, and we start looking. They will start looking in some post game, and then we will go into revealing the second round of the play-ins, as all the games have been played for this week, and there's gonna be some spice, and I'm pretty sure there will be some trash talk coming in and shit posting about who it's gonna be too. But at first, I will give the word to Brady and Mikas here.
Yeah, I mean, thanks so much, Brill. Thanks so much, Rango. That was an intense game. After that level 1 start, the way it happened, honestly, looking a little bit ropey at the start of that game for Xin Zhao, for SG Intelligence. However, I think the casters rightly put their votes in the hat for Slime, really making things happen, finding picks, making sure this bot lane, making sure that Draven got so unbelievably strong. What did you think of that one, Mikas?
Yeah, you predicted quite accurately. Draven is a champion that is pretty strong right now. Of course,
Draven? Question mark.
We have to acknowledge Slime. We were discussing before the game that the sub coming in the last moment and how will he perform. It was if he was about to be a downgrade from Obsession, but he filled the shoes quite well. Nautilus, excellent performance. And yeah, SGI looked like much more prepared, much more experienced team. Draven shined, Nautilus shined, Intelligence looked quite smart.
Now is that 6 out of 7 now of your crazy predictions from the power rankings so far holding true?
Hey man, I posted some predictions of how the matchups will go in the shitpost, but that was in shitpost for a reason. I only trust the power rankings. Let's only talk about that part of the. But yeah, that's 6 out of 7 if we look only at the power rankings. And yeah, we have some clips and some highlights if Dread has received my messages. And
yeah, while we head over to those, I mean, are we gonna have a word with Cheeky? I mean, he's messing up your power ranking system here, or you're gonna have to go and edit them, or what's the solution to this?
Cheeky, my man. I'm arrange a scrim versus him and
sort it out. Oh man. But yeah, I mean,
Go ahead, Rick.
I was just gonna say, this Nautilus, this Draven, again, SGI doing exactly what they needed to do. Every opportunity to take a fight, they took it. Again, I think Olaf got caught a couple of times overstepping after having, almost like a little springboard start into that early game. But again, unfortunately, Slime doing such a good job of getting stuck in, getting CC, forcing fights where fights needed to be forced to ensure that the Draven could get ahead, because in reality, this Xin Zhao, this Draven, that's pretty much all the damage the team have. Yeah, you have Lisk, yeah, you have Seju, yeah, you have Nautilus, but they're primarily not there for damage. So this Draven and this Xin Zhao need to be big. Especially the Draven, and fortunately for them, and once again, huge shout out to Slime, did work, found Draven his kills, found him those huge not shutdowns, cash-ins, and ended up just completely running away with that one. But I don't know if you viewed the game differently, but that's how it went down by my standard there.
Yeah, what ready? Oh yeah, first rally. Yeah. So as Brady mentioned, the early game looked quite suspicious for intelligence as they struggled a bit. The invade was punished quickly by CCG. And till this moment, it looked very favorable for Theta Draconis, but here is the first, I would say, throw from Theta as Olaf, with all of his lead, finds himself at the wrong side of the neighborhood, and intelligence punish him, shut down, and cash in for Draven. I'd say after this, there was no moment for that it looked good. That looked good for Theta Draconis anymore. And also amazing hook by Slime there.
That second hook.
Full range, yeah. I'd say sometimes Nautilus hook kind of extends the range. I don't know, he procs like Lethal Tempo or something.
Not hook insta-procs tempo, yeah. I get you. I've been a victim to the old Bend It Like Beckham Nautilus hook in the past. Yeah. But again, you pretty rightly said it, but what I am really, really impressed with is how quickly the trigger was pulled, right? Because again, if Slime waits to hook that Olaf, Talia's getting down faster, because again, Talia has the Weaver's Wall, so hypothetically speaking, I think you should be expecting Talia to get there first. However, Samuel doing a great job of rotating down, giving his team the confidence to just instantly make that play. Talia's there, but Lissandra's there too, because again, she got the faster rotation, she got that shove, and just completely blow up the Olaf, and then it's a 4v3. CCG just immediately on the back foot, and when you're on the back foot into a Draven, that W going proc, that Lethal Tempo going proc, that Nautilus Lethal Tempo Q, hey man, it is what it is. And it's kind of
Tempo Nautilus. finally solved the mystery. I agree, and that's also even more important, the fact that Olaf was the strongest member for CCG there, and he dies first instantly, leaving no chance for CCG to win that fight. That turns us into the second highlight, where, if I remember, it was the moment. It's the rotations, prime rotations by intelligence. Intelligence playing beautiful, smart game. They first of all cause the CCG to open to protect the mid lane, where they still get the turret with Herald. Meanwhile, they lose another turret in bot lane as nobody is protecting that, and they end up this rotation with prime position to take this dragon fight as well. Absolutely beautiful macro League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, again, I completely agree. Teletu doing a great job just dancing with them in the bot lane, and again, some great communication and just the instant pull of the trigger once again. They're like, cool, they're trying to get to river to bot. Instantly, Herald goes down mid, force the response, and bang, gets you 2 towers, gets you fast track onto that river as well, because once again, they did end up forcing CCG away from both the bot lane and the mid lane play, and it was just too fast. The tempo was just always there, pressure was always on, and CCG just having a hard time keeping up.
Yeah, and then the third highlight kind of tells me a lot about how both of these teams work, how much. The biggest difference, I'd say, wasn't mechanically, it was how ready they were. As we see here, Intelligence is ready to take this Herald play. Meanwhile, CCG kind of finds them being there, like are kind of surprised, and takes this fight just because they think they can. But Intelligence is on a different level, as everybody reacts, and an instant punish leads to 2 more kills and a Herald. Beautiful game.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Again,
game.
You stumble across a Xin Zhao by himself. You're like, hey man, maybe we can take this guy out. Maybe we can pick him off. Unfortunately, they haven't thought further than that, because the Draven Nautilus is rotated mid again. Sejuani on the bot side is there in an instant with that TP, and what you initially thought was a numbers advantage, just at the drop of a hat, drop of a coin, becomes once again a 5v4. The Renata, the Sivir showing up kind of towards the tail end of that fight, but too little too late, and again, another great just macro play from Intelligence.
Yep. That being said, I think we're ready for the interview. If
Hello.
Hi. Congratulations with your first round win.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations from me, and I think start this off. Talk to me a little bit about draft. What did you guys like? What did you guys expect coming out from CCG? And how did that whole draft end up going for you guys?
I think Kieran is prepared to answer this one.
I mean, based off what we saw from the OPGG, we figured they would play heavy bot side. But then they then went to go for Mordekaiser into Sejani, which is a winning matchup for Mordekaiser. So we expected them to play for top side. That's why we went for the call to go for the level 1 invade to get vision, right, to be sure.
Then that backfired a bit.
Yeah, it kind of backfired, right? And our draft was super telegraphed that we wanted to play for Draven, right? Like, you don't want to play for Sejani.
Well, I was actually... So you expected them to play 4 bot initially, before anything had been drafted.
Yes.
So, going in, obviously, I don't know at what stage you guys knew that Obsession wasn't going to be able to play and that you were going to bring that sub in, but were you happy, obviously, playing for your bot side? We know Cammy is quite an important member for your team. Was there any doubt, I guess, in substituting out Obsession today?
Not at all. Not at all.
We knew that Obsession, also known as Swag Session, is going to be out the whole month. We knew at the start of this summer already. So we had plenty of time to prepare for this situation, but still, I feel like, personally, that we didn't play enough, but we still have a long way to go, kind of, but this was okay for a first game, in my opinion.
Yeah, does that confirm that Slime is going to play throughout the whole planes?
Depending on how long the planes are, probably, yeah.
Alright,
it's like 4 weeks, isn't it?
Alright, yeah, and just another win for SGI against CCG.
Tally that one down.
Is it even a rivalry right now? Because it looks like it's been quite one-sided.
I don't think CCG is worth the rivalry. I would say our rivalry will come with Gucci Gaming.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sorry for any GG fans out there, but it's good banter.
All right. Another question. That being said, Gucci is not playing in the planes, but we are gonna have the next round draws quite soon. Is there any team you're looking at that you specifically want to face?
Gucci Gaming.
Specifically? Well, we can't face Gucci, but I guess we want to take down the
rank 2, the rank 2 team. Like whoever is the highest rank.
I think Reef is rank 2 in the prediction, so of course we want to take them down and stomp them too, of course.
Yeah, we want to take them down as dominant, so we took Draconis down.
So your team is for want of a better phrase, not lacking confidence, as you guys definitely aiming high, not scared of the good cheese, not scared of the reefs, but do you expect those to be easy games?
I'm the insecure guy on this team.
I expect them to be close games. Like, to be completely honest, I expect them to be close games, and they can obviously go both ways.
Yeah.
But I would also say, like, if you didn't go into it with like full confidence that we're gonna stomp them, then it's not worth doing it, right?
Yeah. What are we doing if we don't? Yeah.
True.
So we can sit here and talk as much trash, or like say like we're gonna stomp this and that, but it all comes down to like how we actually perform on game day.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, and I guess the last question from me, we didn't get too much opportunity to ask about the actual game itself, but how'd you guys feel like you played? Again, I know from the caster side, the analyst side of thing, we were all a big fan of how Slime played today. Yeah, how did you guys think you did as a unit? Any individual performances from your side that you went really well? What are your thoughts there?
I personally think as a team we didn't play as good as we know we can play. But I will also say that that's mostly my fault, being the only guy who died in the game. But I had absolutely no reason to die in any point. Like, I could have started W in that level 1 check, and then I wouldn't have died, right?
Yeah,
or I could have just went the other way in the first bot gang. I could have gone the other way and been completely fine and not get stuck between Olaf and a rock. But other than that, I feel like we functioned well as a unit.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked good for me. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's everything I had to ask. Mikus, anything from you?
Very impressive game. Very impressive game. The macro looked very clean. I'm excited to see you in round 2. Let's hope you have a good opponent.
Thank you.
Dude, an opponent
Yeah.
up to your standards, you know? Yeah.
I mean, we'll take anyone. Like if it's a free win, we take it.
Well,
Agreed.
thank you very much for your time, and good luck in the second round draw.
Thank you. Thank you. When is the draw, by the
Thanks,
way?
guys.
Now,
After
yeah.
filming.
Oh shit!
No,
Okay.
no.
Grab your popcorn, grab your sodas, your vodka, whatever you're sipping on during SLE. We're going into the draw right now, and with that, I would say GG well played to the SGI guys as well, and let's see what you guys' opponents will be. And thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
for having
guys.
us.
And with that, we're gonna go through the first draw. So as you guys know, we got into an uneven number of matches, which means that the Swiss system doesn't work completely correct. There will be one team getting cocked, kind of. I mean, yeah, 2 teams will be affected by it. So normally, both teams would be playing winner-winner, loser-loser, right? That's how you proceed in the system. But because there's an uneven amount of matches, there's an uneven amount of winners and losers. So like 2 teams will have to face each other. But with that, we're gonna go to the first drawing, and that is if we can get it onto the stream.
Oh,
Eternal
drum roll,
Blizzard
please.
versus Lost in Time. So
A
with
quick
that,
correction. It's last time, but yeah, Eternal
Oh.
Blizzard surprisingly lost in first round against Primordials.
Mhm.
And maybe it wasn't surprising for Primordials themselves. But I rated Eternal Blizzard quite high. They have prepared a lot and slipped in first round. They will have to win the second round if they plan to appear in Division 1. No.
yeah, next one. So the next one is Dream Team against Altera Excelsior. So Dream Team had a rough one against Reef, right? It's the team of the hopes, the dreams, the friends coming together, and the first thing they meet is the rank limit enjoying team Reef Esports,
Nightmare matchup.
the full stacked,
The full D4 roster.
full D4 roster, second favorite,
Yeah.
and I am really curious how this matchup is going to be, because Altera Excelsior is definitely, I think, a team that's beatable for Dream Team. It showed their weaknesses, I think, mostly in draft. I think Altera's drafting game 1 was kind of the weak side of their thing, and which was a draft that if you get the INT, you are kind of completely useless.
Do you think this is a bit of an out of the frying pan and into the fire situation for Dream Team? Obviously, round 1 being Reef, round 2 being Altera is not exactly what you want to be looking at if you're Dream Team. If I do take a look at the all-important power rankings written by your boy Savage Mikus, but yeah, how do you? I mean, you did mention
Dream Team is like feeling into the dark, right? You don't know what these boys can do. They're like new into this competitive scene, right? This 5v5. They probably have a shit ton of clash games together and stuff, but this is the real deal for like how close you can get to pro play in on our player level. But yeah, this is a good point for them to weigh in how good they are. I think if they beat Altera, they show that that dream might not just stay as a dream, right? They might,
Beautiful.
they might realize,
might achieve their dreams, might climb that mountain.
And I don't know if Mikus has anything to add to this, as Mikus has done most of the investigation.
He's the big brain here.
Well, let's hope Dream Team wakes up in time and claims the victory here. As for all of these teams that have lost their round 1, it will be really difficult to qualify for Division 1 if they're dropping the second round games as well.
Mhm.
So good luck, good night, or good morning for them. And
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to the next one. And Brady, a little sneak peek.
Yeah. It's me. I'm off.
Proximia.
It's my number.
Esport against Redemption.
Proxima.
So, fun thing is, we're gonna have 2 ADCs with like a total of like 2,000 ranked games played together on the bot lane. In this match.
Who's their ADC?
There, yes. So, I know he has a lot of ranked games on his account as well. I think it's also close to 1,000.
I'm just gonna stick with who. We'll see. We'll see on the day.
I see how it is. Beef being true, and
I mean, again, this is built up to be a pretty close game. Again, looking at them power rankings, rank 10 Redemption should be rank 1. I think there was a typo there somewhere along the way. But against the supposed rank 9 Proxima Esports, obviously my view is going to be a bit biased. But yeah, what do you guys think of this matchup?
Proxima comes in with like 5 people of staff. That's the thing. Proxima is the team that comes out of like a real org with the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They should have the resources, right?
They should have the stuff.
To outdraft and make this plan. But these boys, the members of Proxima, are new to playing competitive. So are they able to put these resources to work and beat this scallywag of Redemption?
That what I'm called now? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see how it is.
It's a very exciting matchup. These teams are matched very evenly, honestly, and it's going to be interesting for Brady to match up against Proxima. I feel like Proxima didn't show their full potential, and Redemption, of course, as well. But Proxima had a sub playing top lane, and not even a role. He was also a role swap. He was an AD carry main. And Proxima got absolutely ran over by Black Manta and Linus with Ilaoi in top lane. So they didn't even get to play the game, really. Like, it was just ended so quickly with this top lane dominance. So I will be very interested to see them perform an actual game against this very formidable opponent.
Me and my team of scallywags, we got this, no problem. That's a great word.
With that, we're gonna go to the next match, which is Primordials versus Theta Draconis. So Draconis, we just saw them today play against SDI. I don't think they look bad. I think the early game was good. I think just the few mistakes early, and especially where the gold went right into this Raven, just made it hard, and SDI just showed insane macro afterwards. Like, once SDI got that bit of gold lead on them, they put that gold everywhere they wanted. They needed it. They rotated the map. We all saw the play on like with mid and bot tower, right, where they take both tier 1s and the Dragon Fort as well. Really good rotations. I'm curious to see how Theta Draconis does when they don't get a Draven one-shotting each other, or like your team members, pretty much with like 2 autos, and maybe a team that isn't as insane on those rotations.
Yeah, and I think you sum it up quite nicely. I do think it is simply the difference between a freshly sharpened knife's edge and like a ballpoint pen, right? You're just not quite as like sharp and ready because. Again, I think individually, and I think Mick has brought this up in the actual game, it was actually quite close on a micro individual level, and I do think that CCG did just get edge. They were just slightly off the ball, and hopefully now in their second game they've had their wake up call. Let's get them on the whetstone. Let's sharpen them up. Let's get them into round 2.
And now Primordial,
It's going to be a matchup of round 1 winner in Primordials against a round 1 loser here. As CCG gets one bad news today and then gets drawn against another winner. So, but it's not the worst winner they could have gotten. They could have gotten Reef, they could have gotten Black Manta, which I feel like has performed very well so far and looked very scary. Primordials has surprised, especially their jungler who played the Poppy. I feel like, for me, if we would have voted for round 1 MVP, it's the Primordials jungler. He had the biggest carry game. Of course, Ilaoi's performance by Linus as well was incredible, as well as Slime just today. Yeah, but I'm talking like of the whole round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's another very evenly matched game, and we are kind of lucky to have these two teams from the winners and the loser and the first round losers side matchup.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, I think these two are really good to show off a dividing between the winning teams and the losing teams, right? Where if CCG takes this one, it shows that the winning teams might not be as far away from the losing teams as some of the games have shown. Especially because in the end, it is BO1s. Play-ins have to be done pretty fast, and we sadly can't do BO3s or BO2s for this. But it will show us a bit more info, and looking for more info, we're gonna go to the next next reveal.
That's a great segue.
This is the last one, if I am counting correct. I am not counting correct. And CCG Row versus Reef Esports. So
The other half.
the other half of CCG. Mikas, I'm gonna ask you to start some drama here. Which team do you feel has looked the best? Even though one of the teams lost, of course, the other one. So it's easier to shine if you lose. Which one do you feel has looked the best until now of Row?
Row won the round 1 as well as Reef Esports did win the round 1. I would actually, I will give the spice and give it to Row. Row had, I'd say, a little bit stronger opponent, and they dismantled them quite confidently. So overall, the performance, I would even you could have an angle to say that Row has looked better in these play-ins. Then again, Reef played against Dream Team, and Dream Team had. I feel like it wasn't only a skill gap; it was also Dream Team being quite nervous in those first 10 to 15 minutes, as they made a lot of mistakes that. I would write down to nerves their debut as a
sweaty
team.
hands,
Yes.
knees, mom spaghetti. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be a very interesting matchup here as well. Reef is gonna get a bit of more of a challenge. I'm excited to watch it. And CCG Row is coming into this matchup very, very hot. I think they're in CWL finals right now, and they won some other tournament that I don't fully recall right now. But they're looking strong.
So
Gonna be a challenge for
we're all
Reef.
about to push Roda, the Reef Esports. Okay, so Brady, you have anything to add to this, or do you want us to go to the next one?
Nothing massive to add. Obviously, CCG Row being one of the wild cards coming in. I think no man better than Mikas, who has already given us his wonderful information. So I think we should just transition onwards.
Okay, so the next.
Okay.
Well, then the last two matches are gonna be Runtime Black Manta and Altera Azeroth versus Intelligence SG. So Runtime Black Manta, I will give it to Black Manta just because of how strong they have performed. But I have a dream. It's not Dream Team, but it's my Runtime dream.
Your Martin Luther King dream.
I have a secret little bit of love for these boys. Like these people, they've been here since Split 1.
Yeah.
They're in my heart.
I'm very well acquainted.
we all love them a little bit. It's Spanish or Italian. I don't even know if it's Spanish or Italian. I know it's one of the two. Mikas, is it full Spanish or full Italian team?
Runtime is a full Italian team, and they're also very active. I think, if I remember correctly, they invited Black Manta to SLE as they're quite friendly orgs.
Wow.
They're quite a nice relationship between these orgs. And they played in a tournament that I cannot recall its name, but Runtime there finished the tournament as ranked third, and Black Manta finished ranked second. And
Oh,
yeah, from their friendship there, I think this is correct. I'm not sure, but I think they invited them to SLE. Full Italian squad facing a full German squad, so we might as well put like flags next to their team icons when they play.
but two very well acquainted teams, right? So again, I think this could heat up pretty quickly. All the players seem to know each other by the sounds of things, so it's going to be an interesting pick ban phase. And again, when two teams like clearly know what the other team is about, it's going to be interesting. The strategies, how the junglers play. I'm going to be super interested in this game in particular.
Yeah, and then on the other side, the last game, Altera Azeroth versus Intelligence SD. Altera Azeroth, I know the mid laner, Mad Knight. I think he didn't show what he has in it, even though they won. I think this man has insane rotations on the map, and I am curious to see how SD is going to handle that. Because we will have some big macro plays against some big macro plays then. And maybe they can, Altera Azeroth can stop the SG Dominus that's been going around for one entire round. But yeah, anything you guys have to add to this matchup, the SG versus AA?
Again, I just think that even after this first round of games, immediately the draft draws, the team matchups seem just immediately really close, and I think this second round of games it could go either way. Like, I don't think there's any one game where I'm thinking, yeah, that team's got it in the bag, dude. That's the free win, you know. But I'm gonna be super interested to see, and I really do like this new system, the old Swiss system. Feels bad to be the SSG team, but the first half of SSG, the original half of SSG, this season anyway. Yeah, sucks to be them.
Yeah, they just do the short straw here, but in the end, this straw isn't as short as expected. It's not as what we ranked the top tier, so they will still hit a team close to their mark probably. If
it's a good opportunity for them too to show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and with that, I think we have some GFX and stuff ready for the MVPs of this split this round one.
It's not so much for MVPs, if I understand next slide. Yeah, it's my subjective selection of the symbolic team of the round. We had multiple great performances by many players, but I personally selected these 5 from each role as having the strongest games. So that's Linus from Black Manta, Ahlefeld from Primordials, as I before mentioned. For me, he would be the MVP of the round. Lunam from Runtime, as I didn't know that he's so good in mid lane, and the Graves was absolutely monstrous.
And can confirm and agree. Yeah, that guy slaps.
LMR had clean performance on the Sivir, didn't die a single time in that game. There was other notable performances by other players. Just now, Cammy had a great Draven game. And of course, I have to mention Shipex from Row. Also had a great game, as in his debut game in SLE, he scored a pentakill on the Jinx. And of course, Slime, we just saw him. Great Nautilus engages great hooks. His hooks procced lethal tempo, apparently. And yeah, he didn't die a single time, getting out with this by the skin of his teeth multiple times. Very, very amazing game from Slime.
Yeah, so if you want to win SLE, poach all these 5 players, make the dream team, and take the top home, right?
If you want to win round 1, poach these players.
Yeah, okay, round 1. But with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We have a little bit of stats. If I can find it. Okay, so for round 1, temp stats, interesting stuff for all the nerds here. Highest game presence are Sivir and Jinx. A total of 71% of every game in round 1 has been the Sivir and Jinx sleeper meta bot lane. But maybe SG has shown that sleeping in bot lane, playing weak side is not the way, and throwing axes at your enemy until they die is the better direction to go. Next to that, we have the highest ban rate, which is Victor, which is understandable. This champ deals way too much damage for how safe its skills.
It's too blindable, yeah, man. Like, this champ is cringe.
And the highest pick rate, that's what SLE loves to play the most.
Nautilus.
It's Nautilus. Throw a hook, kill someone. GG, go next.
Oh man.
So, can we? So, if we're gonna see some variety in this later in a few weeks, maybe we'll be screaming Zeri after upsets. Upset.
I would love to see an Ornn resurgence. I was a very popular pick last split. SLE.
As we talked about it earlier in the pre-game.
Yeah.
50% at the moment. It's
close. It's close.
It's still there.
Yeah.
I love it.
The person who plays it loves it. No one else does.
So we hear that the highest kill count at the moment is Lunam with 12 kills. I don't know if Mikis is planning to do like a top KDA scoring for preseason, but Lunam working on it already.
My ego hurts with that stat. I'm not gonna lie, boys. It's a sad one.
And with that, I think we're ready to wrap it up. I want to thank you, Brady.
Hi.
Mikis.
Yep.
Everyone in chat. Of course, Realman, who has already left, but is a wonderful addition to our cast. And in the end, most importantly, the man that makes it all happen on screen, Dreadpool. Thank you for the production again. And the next games will be out shortly when in streaming schedule. Don't forget to follow us if you enjoy the content. If you want to join in on the shit posting, the trash talking, join the Discord. If you want to join next split in split 4, you can already sign up for it. You will be there. Some quick stats because Dreadpool keeps hammering more at me. Most assists done by Nami, 24 assists. ICS, 10.1 by Lowy. Guys, have a good night. I wish you guys a wonderful evening, and see you guys in the next one.